ride is like nothing else you've ever done.
There's no padding, there's no fancy tricks. It is fiberglass and metal with a bunch of bolts keeping it together, and you feel every little bit of it.
It's kind of like being in a washing machine that's getting launched into space.
There's no seat belts holding us in, but the G-forces that we get, the speeds that we get going around the corners, feels an awful lot like a roller coaster.
My first run, I don't even remember where I was. Like, that's how intense it was.
It's absolutely stupid when you think about it, what we go through for the 2 minutes, but it's worth it.
We train, 6 months almost straight in the spring, summer, fall, where 5 days a week, sometimes double sessions. We're at the track, we're in the gym lifting weights. We have an indoor facility we can push the sleds at.
There's a lot of things that you have to take into consideration. You can't go out and party every Friday night, every Saturday night. You need to be, because you've got to work out Saturday morning, right? And it takes a lot of discipline, but because you have that community of people that you train with all the time and your teammates, it's not just for me that I'm doing this. It's for my team. I want my team to be as good as we possibly can.
My workouts usually start at 10, we'll end at 2. You're trying to cram in therapy, so massage or chiro. Recovery during that point, just stretching and other types of things, and eating the right foods, and just kind of going from there. So it's a full-time job, to say the least.
Track 3 for Humphries and Kaillie in Canada 1.
Basically from October 1st to mid-March, we're on the road or we're doing training camps somewhere, competing somewhere. So to try and hold down a job that, you gotta try and explain to your employer, yeah, I'm gonna leave for 6 months of the year, sorry, doesn't really appeal to very many employers.
Depending on what tour you're on, you'll slide pretty much every day of the week, maybe have a day off if you're on the World Cup circuit. Day off is usually some sled prep and runner polishing and stuff like that, and then usually you race. You have a day of 2-man racing, and then the next day is 4-man. So yeah, it's just official training all week and then racing on the weekend. And then after the 4-man race, you typically take off to go to the next venue.
But as soon as I get over to Europe, I'm like, okay, like this feels right, and I'm ready to go. Like I always kind of have that. I feel like I have a little bit of extra energy when we go over there and when it's time to actually get the season going. Because if I'm in Europe, it means that I'm there to slide. It's not really like vacation time or anything like that. It's, I'm here to do a job and like, let's get it done. But it's one of the perks definitely of what we do, is being able to do a little bit of traveling and see different parts of the world.
It is amazing how welcoming all the other nations are, really. You're talking to the best people in the world, and from Germany or Russia or whatever, and they're just as happy to meet you as you are to meet them. So it's a great community. It's a good place to spend time. Straightaway between 14 and 15, and it's just 3 left-hand turns after that. I was kind of, okay, well, we made it to the bottom, this is good. And then the next thing I know, I'm like waking up in an ambulance, and it feels like it could have been like months later. My timeline's very broken up at that point.
I didn't actually know the extent of my own injuries. I didn't think I was injured that bad until I woke up in the hospital 6 hours later or something after surgery. That's when I really realized that something was really bad.
That was one of the most chaos I've ever seen in my life firsthand, and to know the people being affected and hurt like that was really horrific, and it was hard to see myself in a sport that could do that to someone.
I remember there was a point when I was laying on the ice just minutes after the crash, and everything was kind of heightened. I could hear everything. I could hear what people were saying, like little whispers here and there, and I could see everything was so sharp and clear, you know. And I thought to myself, this is a good time to take a moment and think about things, you know. And I thought to myself, oh, maybe I should stop bobsleigh.
The general feeling, especially of guys that have been in one, is you're not a true bobsledder until you've crashed. And not only crashed, but gone back to the top, gotten in the sled again, and gone down.
Track is clear for Chris Spring.
I had a lot of doubts about coming back, and can I still drive? Will I still be able to drive good? Will people have confidence in my driving? And I wasn't sure how I would feel after the first run back. But even going down the track, I had a huge smile on my face. And then when I crossed the line, it was like the first day of sliding again, you know, that I was like, wow.
First couple times you go and you're like, why do I do this? And then for some reason, you just come back.
Like, you're not really gonna make a lot of money doing this, and you love doing it, but at the same time you have to think about the future and stuff. You're not putting any money away, and that's always tough. You always think about, you know, if this is the right thing to do, if you should be doing something else. But when it comes down to it, representing Canada is worth it, and you kind of make it work.
When you have Canada on your back, and when, you know, maybe you're hopefully up on the podium and hearing your anthem, it's an awesome, awesome feeling.
I'm with them for 6 months of the year. I see them every single day, or at least for a huge majority of every single day. I see them, and so in that sense you get to know them and they become part of your family. You go through every single thing with them. You go through the ups, the downs, you go through the winning, the losing, the crashing, the succeeding. You go through just life with them in general, life inside of the sport, but also life outside of the sport. You go through family issues, you go through a lot of stuff with these people, and they really become a part of your world. And when they become a part of your world, that's, regardless of what country they're from, you want to see them succeed.
That extended family throughout the world is what keeps a lot of people and keeps me in the sport, that's for sure.